Hi everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Hope everyone is well on this fine day. For this tutorial, I am going to quickly go over how to Mod Podge on the Unique in the Creek character boards and go through a few different sealants. So the first thing you will need is a Unique in the Creek character board. So our character boards look like this, just like the large board. It's got the two indented hanging holes. We have circumference 1 and circumference 2, and you'll notice the center is solid. This solid center is where you could Mod Podge an image, whether it be a Unique in the Creek digital insert that you can be purchased on our website. So you can purchase an insert for, I believe, $4, and it's yours to keep, and you can print it as many times as you want. And soon we'll be offering a Unique in the Creek already printed already printed inserts that you can Mod Podge. This is the front of your character board. The back of your character board has our logo, our website information, made in Canada, and it's really smooth. So this is the back of your board, okay? This is the front. So depending what you're using, I've used cards, like greeting cards on my center. I've used wrapping paper on my center. I've used, of course, our digital inserts. I've used gift bags. Gift bags are a lot of fun because when you get them at, like, Dollar Tree has a really good variety, especially at Christmas time. And with the gift bag, you get two sides, so you get actually two pictures. So they're fun to use on there. You can paint on these, so you can do chalk couture. You can do whatever you want. So the sky's the limit on what you can do, and what this does is it turns your wreath frame into your sign and your wreath frame. So you don't have to wait around for somebody to make a sign for you. You pretty much have it at your fingertips whenever you want it. So it's very convenient doing it like this. There is people that are mounting like a gift bag or even our inserts on round wood pieces, and then just putting a piece of styrofoam underneath and just kind of lifting it off the board so it's more 3D and not crushed with the mesh. So it depends on what project you're wanting to do. What I'm going to show you right now is using the Unique in the Creek digital inserts. We have over 500 inserts on our website. I am going to be using this one, the Santa. Now this will be available for print at the end of this month. Actually, probably the first week of August. This particular print I actually purchased from somebody else and purchased the commercial license. So what that means is I can actually sell the physical paper copy, but I cannot sell it digitally to you guys. So if you want this certain print, you'll have to order it from us. There's probably about 300 I have that are going to be paper inserts that you can order right from us. And we use 32-pound paper. I find this the best paper. It's like a satin kind of finish, this paper. You can use 24-pound or 28-pound. If you use 24-pound, which is just normal printer paper, chances are wrinkling will happen a lot more than if you use a heavier pound. Now, you don't have to go as far as using cardstock, but a thicker paper like 28 or 32 is ideal. Okay, so once you purchase your digital insert and you download it, you can send that file to Staples or Office Max or any place that does printing. There's even a few online printing stores that will deliver it right to your door. Once you got it printed, and we do have a tutorial on our YouTube channel on the 4 main places to get your prints printed and how to send them online. Now, if you order them online from pretty much any printer place or printing place, they will be cheaper than if you go in store and do it, because that gives them time to prepare instead of doing it right on the spot, so they give you a little bit of a discount. Before we got our industrial printer, I sent all mine to Staples. Now, we are having a few issues with, for instance, my Festivus Sourpuss. Some printing places refuse to copy it because they say there's a copyright. Well, it's Grinch inspired, but it is not the Grinch. If you put the 2 Grinch pictures together, it doesn't look like it. But because it's green, the copy places automatically assume it's the Grinch. So sometimes, and there is free ones that I have put on our website. They are copyright trademarked, and I have gifted them to you. Some places may not print them, and you should be only using them for personal use anyways. If they don't print them, there's nothing I can do about it. So some people have just gone from, like, if Staples wouldn't print it, they go to Office Max, and if Office Max doesn't print it, they go to Walgreens or whatever. I've heard a lot of people say just go in and print them yourself on their the Staples or Office Max printers that they have, and if you print them yourself, then there's no problem. But online too, yeah. Anyways, so I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. The Festivus Sourpuss, I can assure you that I did that from scratch. That is mine. It is green, and I think that's why people, or the stores, do think it's the Grinch. But if they get sticky, you can bring up the Grinch and you can say this is not the Grinch. But anyways, let's get back to Mod Podging. So once you get your digital insert printed, and I'm going to just do this Santa, you're going to cut out, there's a faint gray line going around. Now, some of the older images that you may have purchased may have instructions either on the top or the bottom. Don't worry about the instructions. If you get instructions on your sheet, it doesn't matter because you're going to cut it off anyways. So when I first started doing this, I did put all the instructions on the sheet so people had it right in front of them. And I found a lot of people, some were not wanting the printed instructions. So we have the instructions right on our website and also on our YouTube channel on how to do it. So we just omitted the writing, especially if you're printing from a home printer. If you are printing from a home printer or you're looking to buy a printer, you need to make sure it has ledger paper capabilities, and ledger paper is 11 by 17, and we need that because our actual circle that goes around our images is 10.5 inches, so we need that 11 inches in width for our prints, and that's why we have to do it on 11 by 17. If you do it on legal size, your face will be smaller. And if you do it on letter size, it will, again, be smaller. So it's 11 by 17, 32-pound paper. If you can get that, or even 28-pound paper, then you're golden. Okay? So once you get this out, we're going to just cut with scissors around the outside of our image here, the gray line. Now, some of the images, the color goes right to the edge. You would just cut to the edge of the circle, and it doesn't have to be precise or really perfect because this white part here will be covered with mesh when you when your project's finished anyways. So if you kind of cut off the line and it's jagged, don't worry, don't fret. You won't even see it. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, so I'm going to just put this to the side. So now on the Unique Wreath boards, there is a bit of roughness to the center, and we did this after our first run of boards, so you as our customer didn't have to sand them right down really hard, and we took the work out of it. I find it does work, this roughness, but I like to go over it just a little bit more with sandpaper to scratch it up just a little bit more, because the more grip you have for the Mod Podge, the better it's going to adhere to your board. So you can leave it just like this. You can hear that it's rough. I like to scratch it up just a little bit. This is just a little piece of sandpaper I have. It's actually from Dave's little sander. But I just go across and just scratch it up. So I go one way, and then I go the other way. And that's it. That just gives it a little more grip. So we're going to just wipe that off in case there's any dust. Okay. Now, it's very important that you remember that the hanging holes at the top where the number 1 is the top of your wreath. So you want to make sure, now if you do make a mistake and you put, Santa sideways, not a big deal. You'll just hang Santa from one of these holes here, right? But if you want to do it correct, make sure your hanging holes are at the top. And even to remind yourself, you could even stick a pipe cleaner or something to flag that this is the top of your board. And that way, automatically know, okay, that's the top. You could even put your hanging string there right now if you want. I got dog hair. I got Duchess and Lady glitter. Hence dog hair. And ladies is these little ones. Okay. Good Lord. Okay, you got your image cut. What you're going to need is obviously your scissors. I love this Mod Podge Squeegee. If you are going to be doing a lot of Mod Podging, do yourself a favor and go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever with your coupon and get yourself one of these squeegee things that Mod Podge makes. It comes with a roller, so it's like a burnisher, which I never use, but I use these all the time. They are a hard plastic, but they bend, okay? And they also have a slant on each end. This really gets the image totally flush and no crinkles in your project. So I highly recommend, if you are planning on doing a lot of Mod Podging, they're not expensive. I think it's like $6 or $7 for the set. Go and get one. Now you can use credit card or debit card or whatever, but sometimes if you're pressing too hard with a credit card, it will tear your paper. So this kind of bends as you're pressing really hard, and it does have that beveled edge there that will give you a flat surface while you're pulling the Mod Podge, okay? Sorry, my mouth is dry. Okay, so we got our board roughed up a little. Make sure, if you are going to rough it up like I am, get it good roughing between these inner holes here, just in front of them. And that's, make sure that the outside of your image, whether it be the digital image or a gift bag or whatever, is going to stick, okay? Now, there's different kinds of Mod Podges out there. If you go into the aisle where the paint, like the craft paints and everything are, that's usually where you'll find the Mod Podge. There's all different kinds. There's sparkly, there's glow in the dark, there's outdoor, there's gloss, there's matte, there's all kinds. You can use any of them depending on what you want to do and what project you want to do. I do have outdoor Mod Podge, and I like it. The only thing with the outdoor Mod Podge is it's very thick, and I find it really hard to spread, and you only have a few minutes in between getting your Mod Podge on the board and centering your paper before it starts to like set. And so by the time you try and spread that thick Mod Podge on, this part up here is already starting to dry. So I don't really use the outdoor Mod Podge anymore. This Mod Podge right here is my favorite. It's the matte Mod Podge, and it's probably the most common one. And you can buy it by the gallons. Like when I was teaching workshops, I used to buy big, huge gallons of it. But you don't need a lot. Like, this bottle has lasted me quite a long time because you really don't need a lot of it. Okay, so this is what I recommend. They do have a glossy one. If you are going to use Mod Podge on top as a sealer, if you use a gloss, it is going to be quite shiny. So you may want to think of what outcome or outlook you want to do. I like the matte because then I go in behind. Once my project is dry, I'll go and seal the project. So we'll just go through a bit of the sealers that I have right here. This is the new Mod Podge Ultra. Okay, I am really on the fence with this. I find sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And because I keep finding that, I've been kind of staying away from it because it's unpredictable to me. I shake it, I do everything with it, and sometimes it gives me a good adherence, and sometimes it lifts right off the board. So I don't like that inconsistency, so I've gone back to just using this. However, this is a great top coat or sealant for your once your project's dry. Okay, so once we Mod Podge this on and it's dry, this is great to use over top. It is indoor, outdoor. There's no brush strokes. So I know when you Mod Podge, if you use like a paintbrush, you're going to get the lines of the Mod Podge through there. And you may not want that on your image because, you know, once the sun hits it, you may see the little brush marks. So this is a good one to use to seal it. There's a few others here. This one I have is also a sealant. This is by Folk Art, and it's a clear coat acrylic finish as well, and it's in a matte. This one's okay. I don't find it great sealant, and it fades. It doesn't protect the coloring. I find it it fades faster than any of the other sealants. So I wanted to try it out just to give it a fair chance, and I'm not really pleased with this one. It probably is great for other projects, like other different things, but for what we're doing, because it's going to be on a door and maybe possibly the sun hitting it, it's not the one you want to use. But I thought I'd show it anyways. And then we have Krylon. Krylon makes all kinds of stuff, spray paints and everything, and that's where you'll find this, is in the spray paint section. Anytime you buy a sealant, you want to make sure it says clear, transparent, non-yellowing. That's very important, because if you don't get a non-yellowing sealant, your project will start to turn yellow. And it does. It's from the sun. This is a good sealant, and you can use it on plastic and anything. The only problem with this one, it doesn't have a UV protectant in it. So again, with being wreaths, you want some kind of UV protectant. Unless you have this and then you do have an actual UV spray as well, you can use these together. So you would spray this on, which is just a UV protectant, and this is what we use on the mesh when we make wreaths to prevent fading. So you can use this on the paper insert when you're done as well, and then once it's dry, you can back it up with a sealant. Okay, so if that's all you have, then you can use those two. We also have Rust-Oleum. This is a great one. I love how it's indoor, outdoor, and everything. I love the spray nozzle and everything on it, and it kind of fans as you're spraying, which is really amazing because it's really nice. The only problem again, oh no, this one's UV. This one is my favorite. This one and this one. Now they're both from Rust-Oleum, okay? They're both clear. This one is a gloss, so if you want a shiny finish, you're going to want a gloss. I like the satin. So this is the Rust-Oleum Satin. It's clear. It seals, protects, and revitalizes. Bonds to plastic. And this is where you want that it's important. It's fast drying, which we want. It's non-yellowing, which we want. And it's UV resistant. So if you're wanting to do a wreath with a character board and you want to make sure that this, if rain gets on it or whatever, or the sun hits it, it's not going to fade and it's not going to mold or anything else, you're going to want to use the Rust-Oleum. Either one of these are great. Like this one is a gloss, and you can get this kind in gloss, satin, or matte as well. I really like the satin. It's not super shiny, but it's not dull either. So it really brings out the colors nice. Okay. So that, I'm sure there's many, many, many more out there. But just, these are just the ones I've used before. So they're the only ones I can actually comment on. So again, this Rust-Oleum is my favorite. And you can buy these. You can buy these at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. You can buy them at any hardware store, like Home Depot or whatever. Anywhere that sells paint will have this. And again, you really want to make sure that it's fast drying, non-yellowing, and UV resistant. And you can use this on your mesh and your insert. So if you don't want to wait and spray this and wait for it to dry and then do your wreath and then spray it again, just do everything, and then when you're done, spray the whole thing. Get the center and then spray your mesh, and the whole thing is going to be UV protected. And well, mesh is normally weather resistant, but this gives it some extra protection. Okay, so that is our sealants. Now, if you're not putting it outside, then you have no worries at all. Okay, so let's get to the Mod Podging. There is no secret to Mod Podging. It's just, it is practice. And it is, the paper is very important. The kind of paper you use is really important. So, any videos I've shown already that I've done long time ago when I said 24 pound, I'm going to delete those because a lot of people are using 24 pound. And if you don't know how to Mod Podge really well, you will get wrinkles with the 24 pound. When I first started doing it, you know, I Mod Podged all the time, so I had no problem using 24 inch or 24 pound. But if a lot of people have not Mod Podged before, which is another word, it's decoupaging. If you're not really good practice at it, then you're definitely going to want to use a higher pound. I shake it. It doesn't say that you need to shake it, but I do anyways. I shake everything. Okay. So what I'm going to use is a foam, just one of these cheapy foam brushes from the dollar store. You can buy a pack of 10 for like $1. You can also buy, there's a big pack of, they're like yellow kitchen sponges. And when I teach workshops, that's what I would used to do. I would get one of these little yellow kitchen sponges, and they have like a green scrubby on the back side, and I would cut them into 4s. And I think they came in like 12 in a pack for $1. So if you got 12 times 4, it's 48 pieces. You just need, it's just